In the quiet village of San Emilio, nestled in the heart of the Philippines, lived a young girl named Alona. At just 19, she was the eldest of 6 children, a girl who carried the weight of her family's hopes and dreams on her shoulders. Her father, Mang Ernesto, was a farmer whose hands were rough and calloused from years of labor, while her mother, Aling Rosa, worked tirelessly as a laundrywoman. Life was hard, but Alona never complained. She dreamed of a better future, not for herself, but for her family. Every morning before dawn, Mang Ernesto would walk to the fields, his body aching but his spirit unbroken. He worked under the scorching sun, returning home with barely enough rice to feed his children. Aling Rosa spent her days washing piles of clothes for wealthier families, her fingers cracked and bleeding from the harsh soap. Despite their tireless efforts, it was never enough to lift the family out of poverty. Alona, though young, was the glue that held the family together. She woke before her siblings to fetch water from the well, cooked the meager meals they could afford, and made sure the younger ones went to school when they had the means to. There were days when their meals consisted of nothing but salt and rice, and nights when the youngest, barely 5 years old, cried himself to sleep from hunger. Alona would sit by his side, whispering promises of a brighter tomorrow. One day, she would say, "We'll have enough to eat. One day, you'll have new shoes and all the sweets you want." But deep down, she knew those promises were empty, unless something changed. One evening, as the family gathered on the floor of their small bamboo hut, the sound of excited voices outside interrupted their quiet meal. Mang Ernesto peered through the window to see a group of villagers gathered around a well-dressed woman. It was Teresa, the daughter of the village's former chef, who had left years ago to work in Kuwait. She had returned, adorned in gold jewelry and radiating an air of success. Her perfume filled the air, a stark contrast to the humble surroundings of San Emilio.
"Aling Rosa, Mang Ernesto,"
Teresa called out, stepping toward their home. "I have a proposal for you. In Kuwait, life is different. There are opportunities. If you allow Alona to come with me, she can work as a house helper for a wealthy family. They will treat her well, and she will earn enough to send money home." The villagers murmured in approval. "What a blessing," one whispered. "She's lucky to have this chance," another said. Alona's parents exchanged hopeful glances. Tears of joy glistened in Aling Rosa's eyes. "Is this real, Teresa? You promise our daughter will be safe?" Mang Ernesto asked, his voice heavy with both hope and fear. "Of course," Teresa assured them, her smile warm and confident. "I wouldn't offer this if I wasn't sure." Alona looked at her younger siblings, their eyes wide with curiosity and innocence. She knew what she had to do. "If it means my brothers and sisters will have food on the table, I'll go," she said softly, her voice trembling but resolute. The family embraced, unaware of the challenges that lay ahead. Alona's journey to Kuwait was filled with mixed emotions. She dreamed of the money she would send home, the education her siblings would receive, and the relief it would bring to her parents. But her dream was shattered the moment she arrived at the lavish mansion where she was to work. The family she served treated her not as a person, but as property. "You are here to work. No phone calls, no days off. And you will do as you're told," the employer's wife said coldly. Alona nodded, terrified but determined. She worked from before sunrise until late into the night, scrubbing floors, washing dishes, and tending to the needs of the household. Her hands grew raw, her body weak, but she was given no rest. When she faltered, she was punished, slapped, screamed at, and sometimes locked in a small, dark room without food. Her only solace was the thought of her family back home, waiting for her letters and remittances. But none of her letters reached them. Her employers kept her passport locked away, and Teresa, the woman who had promised her a better life, never answered her pleas for help. One night, driven by hunger after 2 days without food, Alona sneaked into the kitchen to find something to eat. As she reached for a piece of bread, she heard footsteps and froze. "Thief! How dare you steal from us!" the employer's wife screamed. Before Alona could explain, a harsh slap sent her sprawling to the ground. The employer's son stood in the corner, his eyes dark with cruelty. "She needs to be taught a lesson," he said. They dragged her away, her cries echoing in the darkness. No one came to help. Beaten and bruised, Alona lay on the floor, blood staining her clothes. Weak and trembling, she clutched the rosary in her hand, whispering a prayer. "Lord, please take care of my family. Tell them I love them. Tell them I tried." Her eyes closed. Back in the Philippines, Aling Rosa clutched a letter. her hands trembling as she read its contents. "We regret to inform you that your daughter, Alona, has passed away due to an accident." The family wailed in grief, their hearts shattered. A village funeral was held, but the coffin was empty. The family stared at the grave, their dreams buried alongside their beloved Alona. But Alona's story did not end there. Her death sparked a movement in San Emilio. The villagers, heartbroken and outraged, banded together to demand justice for Alona and others like her. They reached out to organizations that fought for the rights of overseas workers. And slowly, change began to take root. Teresa, haunted by guilt, confessed to her role in Alona's suffering. She revealed the truth about the exploitation faced by many Filipino workers abroad, and her testimony led to the prosecution of the abusive employers. Alona's story became a rallying cry for reform, inspiring new laws and protections for migrant workers. In San Emilio, Alona's family found strength in her memory. They established a small foundation in her name, providing scholarships for children in the village and supporting families of overseas workers. Though Alona was gone, her dream lived on, a dream of a better future, not just for her family, but for countless others. Alona's story is not just one of tragedy, but of resilience and hope. It is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, the human spirit can inspire change. And though she never returned home, her legacy became a beacon of light for those who followed in her footsteps, dedicated to the countless women who leave their homes in search of a better life. May their stories be heard, their struggles acknowledged, and their dreams realized. May their souls find peace, and may their courage inspire a brighter future for all. Finally, have you ever wished of traveling the world and make money at the same time, without ever creating your own products or websites? Then let me show you how to set up your own online business empire to make $1,000 a day, and how you can get started right now. Click the link below for more info. If you love this type of videos, please subscribe to our channel. Like and share this video with your friends. Then hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of our future videos. Thank you.